Hi everyone, it's Michelle and Mike. It's Tuesday night, time for my live, and Mike is being a gentleman and a good sport. He's going to help me out because we're going to be doing a technique that's new to me, and he's going to teach me how to do it. It's using our transfers to do glass etching. So that's another wonderful use for our projects. This is an example of an etching. It's not color or anything. But it's permanent. Excuse me?
Well, I use
Yeah.
transfer twice.
Yes. Okay. But we're just talking about the etching for right now. But for those of you who aren't familiar with Chalk Couture, our company produces beautiful transfers that are reusable. They're adhesive back. That's what makes it work nice on glass to begin with. So if you wanted to use our ink, you can bake glassware that's oven proof and make it permanent. And we also have our chalk paste, which goes on wet and dries hard. Now, I just wanted to give a reminder to people that if anything you see, please go to my chalk's site. If you're on my Facebook business page, the Shop Now button is there. If you're not at that particular site, if you go to chalkcouture.com/made by Michelle, MICHELE.com, you can look at my chalk site from there. I also wanted to remind people that February is a great month to be part of our Club Couture. Anyone who decides to sign up for our subscription box, you get a transfer. And this month's transfer is our Welcome to Our Home. I have it on, just try to make sure you guys can see it. Sorry. Close something out here so I can see. This right now, okay, now you can see it better. It's our Welcome to Our Home. That is the current month's transfer. If you sign up for Club Couture for $19.99, you get a transfer this size, paste packets that coordinate with whatever the transfer is, and it's $19.99 plus tax and free shipping. If you sign up and you're in love with this particular transfer, they do give you an opportunity to order this transfer, and it's also $19.99 plus tax, but you would pay the shipping for this. But the regular monthly subscription is free shipping, and if you'd like more information on that, please just type in the comments club info and I will get the info to you. Also, you would be given the opportunity to purchase the Kickstarter set, which would be this beautiful Aiden board, which is magnetic. You'd get our board and base, which is reversible. I have something on it right now, but this, because it is a chalkboard surface, this will wash off, so you can use it over and over again. You get a 3-ounce jar of paste. You get, oh, I have stuff down here. You get our fuzzing cloth, our board erasers, a small squeegee, and our multi-purpose tool. And this is $69.99 plus tax and shipping. So just a quick rundown on that. And the reason it's such a good time to be a Chalk Couture Club member is during the entire month of February, you get 20% off all your paste purchases. So it's a really good deal. Okay, so let me just get this out of the way for right now. And like I said, Mike is going to demonstrate how to use our transfers, which are reusable. Average 10, 12 times, but if you take good care of them, they should be fine for longer. I've used a lot of mine more than a dozen times, trust me. So I'll leave it to Mike to take over, and I'll answer any questions people have. And if you're out there watching, please make sure you say hi to us so that we can acknowledge you. Okay, Mike.
Okay, what I'm going to be using is something called Armor Etch, and it's very simple to use. It's kind of like a paste, not real liquidy, but we've already got some transfers on glass started here. I'm going to turn this so you can see it right side up. All you do is take some of the Armor Etch and put it on just like you would the paste from Chalk Couture. And you're going to let it, according to the directions, you're going to let it sit for 2 minutes or so. Then add a second coat as it's drying. And after about 3 minutes, you just rinse it off. And you should be good to go. Make sure I get all the edges. Of course, when you put the transfer on, you want to make sure you've got no bubbles. You can notice we don't have the transfer down all the way around. Since the glass is curved, you end up with a lot of bubbles near where you're putting the stuff, and you'll end up with etching where you don't want it to be.
Let me know when you want to start timing.
So I'm gonna, well, you can start timing it now.
Okay, where'd it
It's
go?
on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now while that's drying, I'm gonna give that 2 minutes. I'll start on another one here. This has a different heart on it. Just put the etching stuff on there. You want to make sure you don't go off the edge anywhere because it'll etch wherever you put it.
One of the reasons we wanted to show this project, it's quick and easy. So with Valentine's Day coming up just in a few days, if you own these transfers, you can make a really quick gift. It's great for wedding, bridal showers, baby showers, whatever you might want to do, a mirror, a glass jar, something real quick and simple.
As you can see, we've got all kinds of different hearts here. This one ain't going to take long.
This is our Homespun Hearts collection.
It's just the outside, not really filling anything in.
Yeah, I started the timer a little late, so I'm going to stop you before it stops.
Tell me in a minute and a half, and I'll go back to the other one.
Well, it's been about a minute and a half.
Okay, we'll put that one down. We'll go back to the first one and put a second coat on.
And what should I set that for?
Well, what's it running?
40 seconds, 45 seconds, 40 seconds.
I'll give that a half a minute. Just let me know when a half. Oh, you're setting it again. Okay, half a minute.
All right.
Just gonna go back to these as I did them.
Oh.
In order. We'll save the fourth one to be on its own.
Okay.
But you just add a second coat after 2 minutes. And then you're going to wash it off and you should be good to go. And I'm wearing gloves because it says it can burn you if you get it on your hands.
Protect your eyes as well.
And protect your eyes, yeah.
It's just coming up on 30 seconds and 3 seconds.
Okay, so we got that. And what we're going to do is take the transfer
Oh, I
off.
thought you washed it with the transfer on.
And we'll put the
transfer in the water.
Transfer in the water. And grab a.
Don't you have to wet that so it doesn't?
Oh,
okay. Because I was going to say so it doesn't smudge.
Then you wash. You just wash the. Stuff off. And you got a nice little heart on the glass. You'll probably see it better after it dries. I'm going to keep moving here to get these going.
See, I would have just dunked the whole thing in the water, then pulled the transfer off because the transfer would come off easier once it's wet.
Well, you're a pro and I'm not. It's sticking to my glove. There we go.
Okay. Because I figured you wouldn't be smearing the. Another tip is you can use tape, painter's tape around it so you don't go off the edges in case you're kind of close to the edge.
Wearing gloves is a good idea until you take the transfer off. Come on.
Can you get the paper towel?
Dry it here. It's going to be a little tough to see, but you do have your.
Let's see if we can.
I don't see what you're seeing, but hopefully.
You have kind of a glare. Maybe
trying to get rid of the glare here.
Why don't you put the yeah, I can't think of the word. The cloth, the fuzzy cloth behind it.
We have a purple one here. Let's do that. Put that inside. Maybe that'll. I don't know how much that's going to help.
Yeah, well, you have to get it at the end. Oh wait. You could tilt it there. Go. Whoop. You can see it there. Yeah.
There we go.
There you can go for that one. Now that's just a thin.
That's just a thin heart. You might be able to see the first one.
This one has more etching.
This also has more.
But he'll show all of them.
This has more etching on it than the first one did.
Just move it over the other way, other way.
It's got me going backwards.
Yeah, it's got backwards, so you can see it. In person, it's much nicer.
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of the glare here.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
You might be able to see it better.
And this would be wonderful with monograms, you know, with the lettering and all that stuff, to really personalize it.
First one, you might be able to see the etching a little better. I don't know if by taking the hand away, glove might have helped you see it a little better.
Yeah, put the glove behind it. Yeah, I think the glove shows it a little better. Right. And so he has one more.
As it dries, it looks a little whiter in one spot than others, but that's still wet. So as it dries, it'll look the same all over. And we got a fourth one here
that has sparkles on it.
Sparkles on that one.
Well, that's from our shimmer paste, but it won't hurt it.
We're going to try doing 2 hearts on this one.
And it'll definitely need the
I'm looking on that. It still has me showing you the other one.
We're definitely going to need the tape for this tiny one.
Oh,
do you really want to take a chance? Oops. Get back.
Okay, set that for 2 minutes.
Wait a second. I have to get back to it. Where's the clock? 2 minutes.
Yeah. One of the reasons she's showing you this, she showed you this in the beginning, is I took a pickle jar and recycled it with the Life's a Beach,
which is now retired.
And it would turn into a nice little aquarium for a fighting fish. I've also got the shell on the back. I etched that first and then went back with the transfer and added the ink. Then we baked it in the oven, so it's a permanent deal.
That's a way to add color to the etching.
We have 10 cats, so I took a bigger pickle jar and made it a hanging fish tank with the same deal with Life's a Beach on the front, but it was a taller bottle, so I could actually put the seahorse on the back. So it's got a lot more to it, but it makes a nice little fish tank if you like the fighting fish kind of thing. How are we going here? Oh, we're not even close to 2 minutes.
So you're admitting on live that we have 10 cats?
Yes, we have 10 cats. We're the cat house on the street.
Well, so not all of them. 3 of them are our daughters, and 2 we rescued that are up for adoption. So, but we still have a lot of cats in the house.
Yeah. So if anybody out there wants,
stop.
Whatever works.
Yeah, whatever works. But again, this makes it. You can personalize it. It's a quick gift, and if you get invited to a bridal shower last minute, or not Thanksgiving. Valentine's Day is coming up, not even close. It's a nice last minute gift, maybe for a friend. You know, they call them galatines now for between girlfriends. You know, to give a gift. So a bottle of wine and a monogrammed wine glass,
or a whole set of 4 glasses.
Right.
You know,
with sparkling cider for those who don't drink.
If you have a monogram, if you have lettering transfers, you can monogram the glasses.
Which Chalk Couture does have. Okay.
We're down to 2 minutes.
Okay. Yep, the 2 minutes. And what is the next one going to be? So I can.
1 minute.
Okay, let me
put another coat on here.
But he started doing, I had told him about the etching. Let me start that. I told him that we could do etching with our uh, transfers, but I had never attempted it. And he went out and bought the etching cream and disappeared in here and
Snuck into her crafting room.
and did it all himself and came out all proud as a peacock.
We'll line up all four here while the other three, while that one's dry. And you can see all of them here.
Hopefully.
That's going to stay. We had all four on here to start with.
I had them kind of at an half on, half off, so I don't know if that. Okay. You have about 15 seconds.
15 seconds. Okay.
So.
All right, we're going to start here.
And you still have one more to do.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Because, oops. The whole idea was to have something that show up, and we wanted different ones on each glass, and we only had 3 large ones. We could have done a large one that filled in completely, but he likes the outline ones better.
I have to put that on, but just sticks to my glove.
Okay. So this is the tiny one. Do you think we should do it up high or whoops? Here.
Put it up to the left. Yep.
Like that?
Right now.
Yeah. You're not giving me, do you want it to overlap? Or we can use the big one and over, well, I don't think I'd like that big one. There's
the little
you're not going to use the.
I'm going to be daring here.
Uh-oh.
Not screw it up.
Now this would be 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Okay, well, I'll set it twice. Well, there, okay, I did it. Let me know when you want me to start.
Start.
Okay.
That didn't take long.
No.
Okay, so we got that going.
Now, if you notice that there's numbers on these transfers, is what happened that the transfers come on one sheet and you cut them apart. And rather than saying small, medium, large, I just number the back and the front to correspond with the backing sheet. When you do the transfers, this part that the adhesive stuck to is glossy. And so you really want to make sure that the back is labeled some way, either back, what the name of it is, or numbered in this case, because there's so many little pieces, it's easier to number. And this way you get the right backing on the right transfer without messing up the transfer. Because like we said, they are reusable over and over again. And the heart ones are really cute. So you're going to clean up a little bit here. So, hi, Julie. Welcome. I know you know about etching. But Mike's doing a good job. And Mike and I on Friday nights, we have what's called our Friday night chalk fight. We had our first one, and we both used the same transfer. First time we used different surfaces, but he won by one vote. Yeah.
Paid off my granddaughter.
Yeah, yeah, she was the.
Put me over.
Thank you, Amelia. And today's her birthday, so happy birthday, Amelia. So our next one is this Friday at 9 o'clock, and even though it is Valentine's Day, we figure people might be home uh, in time for it. See, time. You already did it without me telling you the time. Okay. And so this time we're using the same surface and the same set of transfers. There's several components in this transfer that we're going to be using. And so neither one's going to know what the other one's doing until the actual night. See how we're going to be creative. So it would be great if you tuned in there and support us. And but I hope that you can see.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to see on glass, but or on not cut. It's clear glass.
Yes.
because of the lighting and all. Let me see if I can dim this a little bit.
That was going to turn it off.
Oh, is that going to turn it off?
Yeah, I
It's
can
not
turn
all
up.
the way up. Okay.
Well, it's on the lower. Let me see if we do that. Does that make it look better?
I can't tell.
We're just playing with the light
It's
here.
kind of tough looking on the computer trying to see how you're seeing it.
But you might have to
Hopefully
lift.
you
You might
can.
have to lift it up like you did before, so that they can see the individual
See if we can lift them up
pieces.
one at a time here. And that's the one that's got the whole center done and the outside.
It's a little blurry there, or fuzzy.
Yeah, that's right in the glare there.
Yeah. Maybe if you move it to your left.
My left.
I guess.
The graph's
Because
going to go off screen. It's going backwards.
Okay.
We're seeing everything backwards. I don't know why.
Yeah. Okay. You can at least see some of it.
But yeah, and that's the easiest one to see. This one, that one, and this one. The other two are just real thin lines anyway.
Go to your right.
My right or left?
Your right. It's your right is showing up opposite. Yeah.
Okay, if I tilt
Tilt
it
it
far
forward,
enough,
yes.
yeah, far enough forward, you can actually see it a little better there. And then let me see if I can get one of the real thin ones. This is kind of a double line.
That's not. You have to go
This way.
towards me. Okay. Okay.
There's a glare right in the middle of it. Okay, there we go.
See a little better. It's hard to see,
tough to see.
but if you're familiar with etching, and then
the fourth one is really thin. If you had trouble seeing this one, you're not really gonna.
Well, try. I can
see
see
that
it
too
sitting
much.
there.
You can see it sitting there.
Yeah, but now I
think
can't
we
see.
pull it up and get it into the glare.
Yeah. So you can see it. Yeah, and then the itty
And there's
bitty
a
baby.
little bitty heart up top.
Yeah, that was showing.
You could even, if you wanted to, put the little heart inside it and do that a different way.
Right.
But it's very easy to use and not that complicated, so and doesn't take much time at all.
No, it's a great last minute gift. Like I said, that's a great thing, keeping the transfers on hand. And again, if you missed any of this, go, watch it on the replay. You can see about what's going on in our Club Couture with 20% off on pastes when you become a Club Couture member. Our subscription, get back in the frame, is subscription program. And if you think what we're doing is fun, we'd love to answer any questions you might have into what is involved in becoming a designer. My upline, she refers to it as a business in the box, and you get our Aiden board and 7 transfers and 5 pastes and tools and all that for $99. Where else can you start your business for $99? So if that's something that might interest you, type in team and I can direct you to a no pressure video to get any questions answered that you may have about what's involved. But also, if you're not part of my VIP group, that's where I can run specials that I can't share in a public forum. So if you aren't already a part of my VIP group, all you need to do is go to Chalking with Michelle. Oh, I can put that up. I forgot I have all these handy dandy gadgets. I see you had said something there, Julie. I'll be right with you. Let me just turn this on so you can see if you want to be part of my VIP group. If you're not already, that's what you need to do. Okay, like the second one you held up. Yeah, I think that was the heart.
That's kind of a triple heart.
Yeah, it's a triple heart. You have the 2 lines. And yeah, that one is pretty. It's almost like a beating heart thing. So yeah, that comes in a whole set. And it's one of my favorites. You can use it in so many ways. I think you get 9. I think you get 9 transfers on that one.
There's 5 in here. 5,
Yeah.
6, 7, 8. At least 8.
At least 8 in there. Um, yeah, that it does look like that beating heart.
But
So,
again, if you don't want to etch, you can use the transfer. You could even use maybe the red chalk paste, do the same thing
and ink. You can
in
ink it.
ink. Yeah, yeah, I said chalk paste.
Yes,
The ink,
and bake it
and then bake it so that it won't come off,
to make it permanent.
and it'll make it permanent.
Yeah, I did candy jars um, from the dollar store, and then they were nice thick. Yeah, I think they were actually votive candle holders,
Yeah.
and I did our shimmer inks with it, and they turned out absolutely beautiful. I filled them up with candy and sold them at a craft fair. They were very popular. But yeah, there's so many things you can do, and with baking, as long as because you're only baking it at 350 degrees, it's not like you're broiling it, so you should not have any worries about shattering anything. And if you did want to have it just for decorative purposes, you could use the paste. You just have to dry dust it. So if it's something that you'd want to change out seasonally, then that's an option as well. So let's see if you could etch and paint it too. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure if you,
this,
well, this was the ink.
like I pointed out before,
It might have been before you had come in, Julie,
this,
was etched.
well, first I etched the front that says "Life's a Beach." I etched the back with the shell. Then I went back over it with the ink, with
Transfer
the transfer. I put the transfer back over top of it and inked it, and then
with our ink, yeah.
we baked it. And it gives it kind of a texture. It gives it more texture than just if you would
The
use the
flat,
transfer and put the ink on and didn't have anything underneath it. It gives it a nice texture. Not that you can see it, but if you held it in your hand, you could run your fingers over it and actually feel the etching.
but you might be able, I've never tried to paint on etching, so I know Eva is an artist and probably has different kinds of paints, and you may be able to do maybe a watered down paint or watercolor paint just for decorative purposes, because I don't think,
Because it would wash off.
because it would wash off unless you put some kind of sealer coat over top of it. Um, but yeah, the products are
But
very versatile.
I would think if you're very artistic and have a really thin brush
Or
on this Life's a Beach transfer, there's actually inside each
it's like a
letter
border.
is where it didn't etch. You could actually paint inside the letter to give a little bit of color to it.
Hmm.
I tried to put the transfer back over this and do it on the front, but there's a ridge right here that
On the
I
jar.
kept getting bubbles. I couldn't recreate what I did with the etching. So that's why I only did it on the back. But yeah, if you're artistic and have a steady hand, you could fill in the letters and then you'd have the etching on the outside with the ink on the inside. And if you baked it, then it'd be permanent.
Yeah, but there are some pen brushes, that it's like a pen that's got
Yeah,
paint in it that has a real fine tip. Now, I don't know if
if
the
that's the
paint,
type of thing you could
yeah,
bake.
yeah, I don't know if you could bake that, but if it's decorative, if it's purely decorative, yeah, I guess you could use any other medium. So if you don't have any other questions, I'll give it a minute because of the delay.
One caution you might want to give them is if you're using the shimmer ink, you don't want to microwave.
Yeah,
You don't want to microwave whatever you've done in the
in the
microwave
right. Now the
because it's got metal in it.
right, and the one thing is that I discovered I did one of the lives I did last Tuesday. I was using